Know, O Prince of Believers, that there was once a sultan in Egypt, just and benevolent, who had a wise and experienced vizier, a man well versed in affairs and the proper way to manage them. This vizier was very old and had two sons who shone like moons, the elder named Shams ed-Din and the younger named Nur ed-Din. The younger surpassed the other in beauty and grace. Indeed, there was no one in his time more handsome than he, so much so that as his fame spread throughout the land, people would travel from their homes specifically to gaze upon his beauty. Now it came to pass that the father died. The Sultan, saddened by the loss, turned to the two young men, took them into his service, bestowed upon them rich robes of honor, and declared that he would appoint them to the rank held by their late father. Virginia was beginning to read the first story from the collection of Eastern tales known as The 1001 Nights. She held a book published in 1948 by Giulio Einaudi Editore, reading it aloud to Antonia, who was lying in bed. The poor blind girl fell asleep the moment the assistant read the phrase, "to the rank held by their late father." Off to a good start. I'll almost certainly have to extend the loan period at the Abbiategrasso Municipal Library. I hadn't even finished the first page before Antonia fell asleep.
The woman said to herself, smiling. She rose from the small armchair beside the bed, set her book on the nightstand, and stepped out of the apartment for a breath of fresh air, but not before tying her long red hair back into a ponytail. The air was crisp and cool. Virginia breathed it in deeply, gazing up at the bright full moon, which made her green eyes gleam like emeralds. She could also smell the pleasant scent of the garden grass, freshly watered by the automatic sprinkler. She smiled, reflecting on how her sense of smell had sharpened ever since she began spending time with Antonia. Fully aware that Antonia was blind and possessed a heightened sense of smell, the assistant, in a way, enjoyed practicing with her, closing her own eyes and trying to distinguish various scents with Antonia's guidance. At one point, she saw a car approaching in the distance and guessed it belonged to their neighbor, Sergio. He was the kind neighbor who, on mornings when Virginia went out to run errands, would keep Antonia company, though only outdoors. Sergio, kind yet inscrutable, had never accepted the invitation to come inside for a coffee. So, that evening, Virginia decided to spy on him. She stepped a few meters away to stay out of sight as he pulled his car into the garage. Then, seeing the lights come on in his home, she moved closer again. Her heart was pounding with the fear that Sergio might step out for some fresh air, too, and catch her red-handed prying into his private life. With every small step, her breathing grew shorter and more labored. Finally, she gathered the courage to peek through the corner of the ground floor window facing the garden, but suddenly the room's light went out. However, the light from the street lamp allowed Virginia to make out the faint silhouette of the man sitting in an armchair. Just as she was about to tear her prying gaze away from the room, a bedside lamp clicked on, illuminating Sergio's face. Virginia saw her neighbor's pitch-black eyes, which seemed to be staring right at her. Terrified, Antonia's assistant ran back inside the house.